So I want to just talk a little bit more about that intimacy and how powerful that is. And we were talking about the difference between just physical sex and when two people are, what is often commonly said called making love. People will use that terminology. We're going to make love, or we made love. How do you make love? The Bible says that God is love. So how do you literally make love? Well, the terminology is very metaphorical, and I think it's a very beautiful terminology because it's like reproducing the love that he has for us, that he desires to share with us in worship. The closest that you can get to actually experiencing that love on earth is to actually have sex with somebody that you're in love with. I mean, that is the closest that you can get to experiencing the depth of God's love for you in physical form, is to actually come together in that sexual covenant with your partner. But that's why, that is why that terminology is used about making love. It is reproducing a portion or a snippet, if you will. It's reproducing the love that God has for us. And that's why he gave that sexual experience to the man and the woman, that husband and wife, to enjoy, that we would be constantly reproducing that love, that we would constantly have that reminder of how much he loves us, how intimately he wants to come together with us. And so we were talking about last week how it is when you're making love as opposed to just having physical sex is a really empty emotional experience. It can be very, very empty, and there tends to be a lot of supplementation, if you will. When it's just physical, you have to supplement the experience with a lot of extras. So you may have to supplement the experience with the addition of pornography to get aroused. You may have to supplement the experience with, role playing. You may want to supplement the experience with S&M or violence, or bringing another party into it, because when it's missing the depth of that spiritual connection, that emotional connection, there's something about it that feels empty, and you're always trying to supplement it and make it more and make it better and make it greater, but you're never going to reach the peak of glory of what sex was really created to be if you don't understand it on a spiritual level, if you're not connecting at that core. Because what's really happening in sexual intercourse is you have two becoming one, not just physically, but spiritually, emotionally, mentally. There's a lot of oneness that is going on there. And so, and I know a lot of people can relate to this, and then some people won't be able to relate to it. But if you can correlate between two different relationships, one where it was just physical, there may have been some shame in being seen naked. You may have wanted to, especially for women that are insecure about their bodies, maybe they're overweight, or, they're a little older, things are sagging, they're not where they used to be, there's a little extra weight, a stretch mark, and you feel ashamed about being naked. You want the lights off, or you want some clothes on. And then when you get into this relationship where this person really, really loves you, there's just this freedom. I mean, you can be in bright, revealing lights and stand there completely naked and feel so saturated by that person's love that you feel like the most gorgeous supermodel on the planet. Hair a mess, no makeup, stretch marks, blubber, and everything else, and for the man as well. Because love covers, love accepts you the way that you are. Love, embraces you in all of your perfections and imperfections. Love makes up the deficit. Yes. Love makes up the deficit. So wherever you are imperfect, wherever you are weak, love makes up the deficit for that. And so you don't have that shame or insecurity when there is really love.